Greetings one and all, this is RhythmWorks and welcome to my channel with some Destiny gameplay, Vault of Glass raid. Now, the video is not really going to complement the subject matter what I'm going to be talking about, but I just can't be asked in putting up any more gameplay of the game I'm about to discuss. Simply because I've put up quite a few, and I would have put up a whole lot more if it wasn't for a particular issue that I had with the game. And it's by way of continuation from the last video that I'd done in relation to Naughty Dog's news of Uncharted 4 and The Last of Us. And I really want to make a continuation on The Last of Us. And it's based upon two new videos that I've seen in YouTube that displays the new DLC. One of the weapons was a crossbow and another weapon was a tactical shotgun and the shiv animation. Now by that people will know the video in question because it's had quite a few views already and it's only been up like around a day. But I want people to know from the get-go it's by no way a criticism of anybody who loves the game, because no one loves the game more than me, but at the same time I do have issue with the game, you know, and I have a right to my opinions as such, and it's just based on common sense, you know. But the question that I need to basically ask in relation to The Last of Us and the new DLC, and even with the last DLC that was offered, is a simple why. Why do we need more weapons? Why do we need a tactical shotgun? Why do we need a crossbow? Having said that, the shiv animations, the new shiv animations, they look sick. I gotta say, if you're unfortunate to get one of those, it looks humiliating, I must say. However, the question totally is reliant on the use of more weapons. I don't understand the need for it. I really don't understand the need for more weapons. What I've seen in the videos so far, it's made me feel a little bit sad at the end of the day, because stemming from the beginning, the very first video I actually saw in relation to The Last of Us, this was like 18 months before the game even came out on the PS3, and I was hyped up for it from then. There was no gameplay, but as you know, with Naughty Dog, there's such developers of pedigree that they can't get arrested, man. You know, anything they're gonna put out is gonna be of some quality. And with The Last of Us, you know, it went without saying. And when the game came out, for me personally, the multiplayer for that game, it was one of the best games I have ever played. And it was solely based on the aspect of survival. And that's what I loved about the game. Now, upon watching these two videos featuring the new DLC, the whole pace of the game has changed. I mean, these guys were just running around the freaking map, running around the map. And if I must be honest with you, my heart just sank watching it, because I'm thinking, here you had a game with nothing wrong with it. The only thing that was wrong with the game at that point was technical, and it was the matchmaking issue. And in response to the inconvenience we suffered through that experience, Naughty Dog decided to give us maps for free. Now, with that, they also slipped in the Scopes weapon bundles for the Treacherous Territories DLC. I remember calling it Abandoned Territories in the last video. It's the Treacherous Territories DLC, maps DLC. Anyway, and that was the beginning of the end for me, because my thing was that if you're if your game is based on survival, you know, you have to base the game on the availability of the weapons that you have, right? And for that very reason, co-op not being a feasible option for the game. As much as people were asking and begging for an infected co-op, and Naughty Dog, by their admission, saying that was the most asked question they've ever had in the history of that game, is how come you're not implementing an infected co-op mode? And they said that because of the scarcity of the ammunition and the enemies in question, and the whole concept of the waves of enemies coming in, it just wouldn't work. They tried it and it didn't work. And I believe them. Do you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I didn't deem Naughty Dog to be a greedy company, as it were. I just thought that they were very fan conscious of their games, you know. But having said that, you have them creating DLC that enables them, the players rather, to have somewhat of an unfair advantage, especially if you can pay for them, if you can pay for the DLC. Some people might not be able to pay for the DLC. I mean, yeah, it's 75 pence, $1. Yeah, but for me, it's just the principle of having to pay for those things. Do you know what I'm saying? And all I see what's happening with the game is that the game is more opening up to a pace that was not originally intended for the game to begin with. Because I could not believe how fast this team was moving. You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't believe how fast. And it wasn't just the one team, it was both teams. They were moving around so fast in the game. It's like, how can I explain it? It's more or less like Naughty Dog codded out the fucking game, man. And that was the saddest thing about it, you know? I don't think it's a necessity or necessary for one game developer to implement everything that they see in another game into their particular game. Because if they brought an aspect of difference into their own games, then people will incline themselves to those games periodically. But with the DLC that I saw in The Last of Us, the bows included. Now, I've played Far Cry 4, and the bow seems to be the most popular weapon in that. Now, maybe people's played Far Cry 4 and wanted the same thing for The Last of Us, which is totally wrong. It's a wrong mindset to basically have. If you are a fan of the genre, then you have to play out the genre, you know? Not play out a different genre to a different genre. Not to play out a Call of Duty genre to the Last of Us genre. Do you know what I mean? It just, to me, it just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. And it brings to me an unwanted pace to the game. I just can't play the game in the pace that everybody else basically plays it. And I know I'm not the only person. I know I'm not the only one that thinks this. I might be in the minority, but I know I'm not the only one. You know, I like all types of shooters, whether they be fast-paced, slow-paced, what have you, tactical, co-op, whatever. I like shooters. You know, I've been converted to shooters for the last 2 years, 2.5 years, almost 3 years, let's say, with Far Cry 3 doing that auspicious job. But I like variety in shooters. I don't like playing shooters that possess the same things. You know, the only thing that I expect it to have the same is more or less the controls. You know, L2 aim, R2 fire, I don't know. But you know what I'm saying anyway. You know, just the universal configuration, control configuration. That's all I need in every shooter, or the option to have it that way on every shooter. But with The Last of Us, man, I'm sorry, but it is my opinion. But I really think they've taken The Last of Us and just speeded the whole thing up, man, to a game that is almost unrecognizable. Because I still don't understand why you need all those weapons. Shorties, shotguns, they do the freaking damage. It's nice to have a team with one person who is a great sniper. They can hold their ground and let us know from a high ground where everybody else is and play it that way, be of a more tactical nature. But for what I've seen, man, it's like they've just sped up the whole freaking game, and that's really, really, really sad. You know, developers should basically design the game the way they design it and test it to the hilt as gamers as well as designers and what have you, and give your take of the game as the game is to the gamers. Yeah, they can give their opinions and what have you, but you know, you don't have to bow down to everything. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, like with Destiny, people's asking about matchmaking on raids and shit, and they're saying no because of the reason they basically specified. Yes, there was some mistakes made in the past and they rectified it, but you know, they're making little changes here and there. But it's not all about just adding weapons as DLC. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, they'll add weapons in the game that you might have to take a different strategy and a different method in order to obtain. That's all part of the excitement of getting a weapon. But when you want to freaking put extra weapons as part of DLC into a game and you don't have to work for it, it just seems like, I don't know, like a smack in the face for all those who really want to play the game in a survival intensive way. Do you know what I mean? But that's just my take on the whole Last of Us DLC. I really feel sad right about now with it. And don't get me wrong, like, I do love the game. I love the game. I love how the game was at the very beginning. The only problem I had, matchmaking. That was it. If it ain't broke, why are you trying to fix it? I just don't get it. I don't understand it. You know, there are so many games, so many shooters that has that pace as standard in their games. I mean, Battlefield, that's a game that has mad frenetic pace to it. Call of Duty, need I say more? You know, this game, Destiny, has got a good, decent pace to it. And to me, all those games are more faster than The Last of Us when it first came out, simply because of the scarcity of weapons and ammo. That's what I loved about it. But now it's just, it's just changed, man. The whole freaking game has just changed, and I really, really feel a way about it, because it was just one of those games I never thought I would even put down and not play for a while, much less not play for a good amount of time. And I just can't pick it up again for that simple reason. It's like I do want to play a game that has a bit of headspace to it. Do you know what I mean? You know, giving people room to fucking say and give strategy and give a plan, make a plan, set a plan, you know? But it's jacked up, man. It's jacked up. So that's all I really have to say on the matter. The question is, will I ever be coming back to The Last of Us? I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know. It's just one of those things that when a game gets opened up in that way, it can't be reverted back. Do you know what I'm saying? And with the scoped weapons to begin with, it couldn't be reversed. And I just think what is happening now is that they're making more weapons to counteract those weapons in the first place, when really and truly they just had to, all they had to do was just leave the weapons alone. Let's just work with the weapons that we have, and it's down to the individual to make good of the weapons as he or she wishes. You know what I mean? And box clever, instead of just picking up a weapon that they can buy for £2.50 as part of a bundle, or 75 pence each. I'm just totally against that. But anyway, I could go on and on and on and on and on, but I won't. So it's with that. Thank you guys for watching. I hope I didn't rant out too much and burnt your ear holes, but it's just how I feel. I'm just that passionate about that game in particular. But anyway, thanks for watching, and you know the coup. Whatever the game, whatever the console, whatever the media, happy gaming, and I really mean it, happy gaming. If you're happy playing The Last of Us in that way, fine, fair enough, that's cool. Yeah, right? But not for me at this present moment in time. But anyway, until I catch you guys on the next one, Magan.